get started with our team meeting today. Thanks for being here. I know we've got a number online as well. If you're online, you've got any comments, questions, whatever, except for Lisa, feel free to join in and just unmute and let us know. All right, let's see if I can get my clicker to work today, since I lost my other one at awards. That's all right. It's part of the fun. Okay, as always, we'll start with needs, wants, buyers, sellers, anybody out of town, anything like that. Fill us in, has something awesome to share with us.
Hi, it's Phyllis Ann. I have 2 listings. One of them is in Santaquin. It's a little over 1,200 square foot main level condominium, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, currently listed at $270. And then next week I will have a 5-bedroom, 2-bath, single story, full basement in Stansbury Park for $485.
Nice. Anybody else? Brooke wants it.
So I have 2
Who are
homes as
you?
well.
Who are you?
One in Provo.
Who are you?
Oh, this is Brooke Gardner.
There you go.
Thank you.
Otherwise, they're not going to know.
Thank you. One is in Provo, down on the Provo River, close on the way out to the airport. Has a access to the river in the backyard, and the neighbor's backyard is like a city park. In fact, my clients are actually having their 2 kids get married in that little park behind their backyard. It is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, split entry, but you wouldn't know it unless because they've done so much remodeling to it from the front. Doesn't look like split entry, but they have done everything possible to this house, and it is a sweet house to look. We went on took it on Utah County Central tour last week. It's got the automatic toilets. You walk up to them and they open up. They're heated bidets. One of the bathrooms downstairs they've converted into a sauna shower, and just a really nice place. Got tons of storage. That one is 700, and they're willing to. In fact, they'll probably make a price adjustment this week. I got another one out in Saratoga Springs. That's my son's house. We started at 1.2, what came down to 1.85. Now we just came down to 1.7 or 170,000. There you go. And that was 6-bedroom with
1 million.
1 million. 1,170,000. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I put in the MLS at 12 million. Had one too many zeros. We had one showing during the open house. So, but awesome home. If you got anybody, we just keep watching the $1.2 million homes, and we're right in there, and we've got all of our landscaping done. The basement's completely finished. Got a basement entrance. It's a really nice home, and they had a hot tub, but the ex-wife took it, and so, yeah, as well as the fridge. So anyway,
That's a great divorce decree. You get the hot tub and the fridge, I get the house.
Well, the divorce decree said they're supposed to stay, but she took them anyway.
Okay,
so.
well, we won't go there.
Yeah,
Keep
no.
going.
All right. Any other questions or anything about them?
Hey, thanks, Brooke.
With the automatic toilets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When a man walks away, does it automatically close?
Probably. I don't know.
It does, my wife will buy it.
That's fun. Crystal Grimes, I have a single family home in Eagle Mountain Ranches area. It's a 6-bedroom, 3-bath, fully fenced, new kitchen, new flooring, new paint. Great condition house. 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2-car garage. Did I say that? Yes. Anyway, thank you.
Price point?
Oh, $620.
Gary Haynes, I have three listings. I'll do really quick. I have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo in Murray. Top floor outside unit, really nice, newly remodeled. And then we have a single family home in Lehigh, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, kind of a multi-split level, beautiful home right next to a park. Everything's new in it, HVAC, flooring, roof, everything. And that one is 529.9. And then I have a gated community in Draper. I have a twin home there, 4-car garage, beautiful home. Everything's just been redone in that as well. And that one's for 754.9.
754.9.
The condo is 289.9.
Yeah. Beauty before brains. So we'll let Bessie go before you, Wade.
Bessie Nielsen, and I've got a new listing, just put it up this morning in Highland, and it is a Rambler, 7 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. I'm still getting used to it. 1.375 on 0.71 of an acre with animal rights. You can have horses on this land, but it's all landscaped, all new paint, and 3-car garage. Did I miss anything?
The best part of that one is you get to be Bessie's neighbor.
Yes, Highland.
Highland.
Yep.
Right
I-
across from an elementary school. It's an awesome location.
Thank you.
This is Wade Griffiths. A few listings to talk about. I just listed a property over the weekend in Orem, right, super central, right next to the neighborhood next to Costco and the University Place Mall. Multi-level home, really well taken care of, original owner. The best part of it is that it's got a detached garage. Could be used as storage or a shop, or he had a wood shop in there, but really, really great. Quiet neighborhood. That one's priced at 649.9. And that one's on the MLS just as over the weekend. So another listing coming up. This one I've had in the past. It's a condominium up in the Zermatt complex in Midway. The prices have really come down overall in that complex. They used to sit at around 500, and over the last couple of years lowered down into the low 4s, and now they're sitting just under 4 at 375 range. So great time to pick something up if you have anybody looking for a vacation spot that they can use for themselves and then use as a rental. The Zermatt will help manage that property and rent it when you're not using it. And then I have another listing coming up in Lehigh in Traverse Mountain, up above Cabela's there. Really similar to Crystal's listing. Rambler with 6 beds, 3.5 bath, 2,600 square feet. It'll be priced at about 625 to 630. Just trying to nail that down, but great homes. So got anybody looking for a lot of bedrooms and baths? It's a good one.
Okay, Lisa, I know you have some.
Yes. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Wha-
guys.
Steven's here with me. So I have a West Valley listing. It's under my name. Go check it out if you have anyone looking for a single family home with a mechanics pit, a urinal, and a Mr. Ed door. I mean, it's so much fun. Next,
My buyers have been looking for a place with a urinal for so long.
yay! Tell them to come to West Valley. Okay, and I'm gonna be having a listing in Linden on 0.77 that has animal rights. We're gonna be listing that soon. I'm gonna be having one out in Eagle Mountain that has an ADU, and I'm gonna have one in West Jordan. So if those are coming. Thanks, guys. Here's Steven.
And I got my first listing this morning. So it's on the
Who are
MLS.
you?
Stephen Tilley, the newest one, right? So it's in Sandy,
Stephen.
4-bedroom, 3.5 baths. It'll be listed at $795. It's a great location, has killer views, so check it out.
Where is it at?
Sandy.
Awesome. Okay, anybody else online have something? Okay, gone. All right, we'll move on. Want to thank everybody who came to the awards breakfast. That was an awesome event in some things and not awesome in other things. So we learned a few lessons from this one. One of which was that it would be nice to actually have awards to give out to people when you go to an awards thing. But Fathom didn't get them to us on time. So in order to make up for that, we are doing a Cinco de Mayo event. You can come on Cinco de Mayo. We've got catered tacos. It'll be potluck. It'll just be come have fun. We'll set up the backdrop for Fathom. If you want to come take photos, we'll hand out your awards. So come and do that. That's going to be May 5th, 12 o'clock right here. So that should be a good time. If you're going to come, please RSVP. I'll be sending that out. We need to kind of know how many tacos to order so that I don't have to put too many in my freezer. So make sure and let us know if you're going to come to that. May 5th, 12 o'clock until you guys get done eating all the food, I guess. Upcoming classes. So May 5th is canceled due to the Cinco de Mayo celebration and the fact that Don and I will be leaving to a Fathom event in North Carolina later that day. So I won't be doing the normal tech class that day. May 13th is a CE class, finding property information online. So if you struggle with finding property information, that class is a 1-hour CE. It's core. It's live only. None of the live classes, none of the CE classes are recorded. And they're not on Zoom. They're live only. So we're far past the COVID days when you used to be able to jump online and do those CE classes. May 15th is a preliminary title class. If you are a newer agent or an agent who struggles when you pull up your PR to understand it and see what's going on there, if it just looks like a bunch of gobbledygook, this is honestly an amazing class for you. It's not CE. But they will go through the title report and make sure that you understand exactly what's happening there so that you can explain it to your clients. It is not okay for us just to send the title report over to our clients and say, here it is, good luck, hope you understand it, right? We need to understand what it is we're sending. So if you've got questions about what a PR is or what you should be telling them or what is bad or red flags, what you should be looking for, any of that kind of stuff, come to that class May 15th. That's a Friday at 11 a.m. And then May 22nd, we've got 2 classes by Jared Fenn, pillar to post, back to back, renovation, remodeling, and repair, and then home maintenance. So that's 2 hours of core. Lunch will be provided with that one. So Brooke will be here, I'm sure. Yep. May 20th is our Forms Plus class. That's Zoom only. That's the one that Don teaches online every month. And then the 27th is our next sales meeting here. So make sure you get all those in your calendar. All right, pool parties are coming up, guys, and we're kind of getting down to the wire of signing people up. So if you need a client appreciation event, this is a super easy one and a super cheap one. It comes down to just a few dollars per person who comes. So feel free to let Maya know that you would like to join. It's great for new agents as well, because when your clients come, they think that all those hundreds of people are all there because you're a great agent and you've invited them all. So make sure and get in on this. It's a really great event. We have 2 dates. So July 14th and August 3rd are the 2 dates. If you sign up sooner, you can pick. Otherwise, if one fills up, then we'll just move you to the next. There is a $100 deposit per agent. So you will need to put that down if you're going to sign up. But it's honestly less than $200 total. And if you get a sponsor to help you, it's like 50 or 60 bucks for the whole event, including like all your marketing and all that. So it is a really finance friendly event.
Are we just Venmoing you the 100?
Talk to Maya, but probably you can Venmo, email,
What's the time?
whatever. Hey Maya, do you know the times on the pool parties?
Well, 7:30 to 9.
7:30 to 9.
Yep. That time, I did one, I went out and gathered door prizes, and I was amazed at how easy people were to deal with, and they wanted to help.
Yeah.
And that made it nice to be able to have the door prizes to hand out to people. So if you make that effort, go to your past clients or go to friends that you have businesses, they would load you up.
Yeah, and as you saw, I mean, we had 15 vendors at our award ceremony that wanted to support us. We had more than that total. We had to turn people away because people wanted to support, and they want to support you as well, just as much as you support them, right? So when you've got people who are willing to do that, you need to be willing to support their business as well. So I think when you do that, you could get a couple of people and it'd be a free event, really. So it's very easy, very finance friendly, and a super popular one with clients. They love it. So consider signing up with that. Talk to Maya if you're interested. Speaking of Maya, please respect her time. If you are lucky enough to have her cell phone number, which not everybody is, but if you are, please don't call her on the weekends after 5 o'clock in the middle of the night. Don't text her your love life, like all those things. She doesn't want that. She's an hourly employee, and so when she leaves here, she's not on the clock anymore. So please respect that. We have an office number and an email address for a reason. And if it's an emergency or you need something right away, that's why I'm here, right? So, yeah, well, call 801-362-6616 and I will pick up. You know, I always do. So if you ever have after hour stuff, if you need to reserve a conference room, if you can't get into the office, if you need something printed, like all those things that you're doing over the weekend, please just respect Maya's time. She doesn't get paid enough to take your calls. Trust me. All right, let's talk about March production. So March 2026, our top producers list is as follows. Tim Reynolds took top spot for both volume and transactions. And then in volume, that's the amount, the total gross amount of the sales for the houses that you sold. Ron Beeson was number 2. Brooke Gardner was number 3. Brandon Johnson, number 4. And Mason Senquist was number 5. And then number of transactions done in the month of March, Tim Reynolds, number 1, Brooke was number 2, Gloria Menson, number 3, Ron Beeson, number 4, and Mason took 5th spot on both of those lists. So they were the movers and shakers for March. And this is how that plays into the year-to-date numbers. So year-to-date volume, Tim's at the top and Lisa second, Brandon Johnson third, Perry Mills, and then Shelly Jameson is in 5th. And then for transactions, Lisa Flutie's number 1, Baram Ledesma number 2, Tim is number 3, Perry Mills, and then Todd Telford. So all amazing agents. They do a fantastic job, every one of them with their business. But they're not like super unique people. Honestly, every single one of you could easily be up here. There's nothing that stops you from doing it other than the hard work. Okay. All right, as usual, we've got our in-house lender or our in-house partners here. So Verus Title and Encompass Lending, and we will start with Jessica.
Perfect. Well, thanks you guys for inviting me to come out. It's always nice to get out of my office and roam around. So be out in the wild with you guys. The first thing I kind of want to go over, I know you guys have a class coming up, but we also can help you guys with like property reports and PRs, things to look for and things like that. That's one thing I actually was going to bring up and then it was on here. So that we would love to, even individually, if you guys don't want to do it as a group or you're like, I don't want to really, even if you're new or you've been there, we would love to go over the PRs, what to look for, what things we see, you know, any of that stuff with you guys. So we'd be more than happy to do that, however, Zoom, in person, whatever. One thing I'll bring up this week that we had that happened because we want to make sure everyone knows about the fraud things that are going on. We had a incident where a home warranty, in particular, it was on a listing. It was going to be transferred. They actually called our office and they were asking us for information for that transaction. So it had closed. It was probably 5 days after, 4 days after. They were inquiring on, oh, the information we have is not correct. Can you give me this information? Well, come to find out, we obviously didn't release the information. So we called the home warranty company, and apparently that's a scam that's going around is they're trying to call title companies too and get information on these people to send them out invoices or to send them, oh, we're this home warranty company, so you can do this. So just be aware of that. We always try to tell you guys, there's so much out there, you guys. And so even if you guys have questions, let us know. We'd love to help you. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of what I bring up to you guys. So thanks you guys for always using us, and so we appreciate you. So, yeah.
Thanks,
Perfect.
Jessica.
Yeah.
And yeah, scams are so many out there right now. Land scams are making a huge resurgence right now. And so if you've got people reaching out and saying, hey, I've got vacant land that I want to just sell as a fire sale, there's a really good chance you're getting scammed. So just be aware. All right, Jason with Encompass.
This month, I just want to let you know, we, Encompass Lending, hired a VP for commercial lending. She's from a big family in New York, and they have deep pockets and ins with BlackRock and some of the big commercial investors. So if you guys have come across any commercial, it's definitely worth getting them to get a quote, because they're going to be pretty aggressive in that sense. She's currently working on a couple buildings to extend the what is it? The dorms at the U of U. No, dorm. Yeah, right. Dorms at the U of U right now. So nothing is too big. So if you have one, it's a great payday. So as you guys are talking and you hear that, don't be afraid. Get them to reach out to me and we'll get a quote, see what we can do to, and possibly get you a listing or a purchase client from that. But something new that we have that we didn't have before, and she's pretty knowledgeable. You know, their family has been private lending for forever, and then they have their contacts with everything else. So just another tool for you guys that we can offer you. Thanks.
Yeah, I was on a call with her and she knows her stuff.
Yeah.
So if you have any commercial needs whatsoever in the financing side, Encompass is a great go-to for you now. So good to have that resource. Hey, before we go on, rates, what's happening with rates?
Yeah, so they're coming down. Obviously when the war happened, we had a 7-month high. So right now, you know, if they're putting 20-25% down, you know, good credit, stuff like that, you're probably looking at 6.1, 6.2. It had jumped to around 6.7, you know, 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it is coming down. It's nice that we had the extension of the ceasefire. Will help, you know, oil prices is going to press everything. So if we, you know, officially end that, then we're really probably going to start seeing movement, but they are trending down, which is good news.
Is there a forecast for 3, 6, 9 months, or is everybody too scared to do that anymore?
A little too scared
All
to
right.
do that. Still, they've announced before the war happened that they were going to still stay through this year around that 6.
The Fed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So we dipped into the 5s and it was really nice, but
For about 4.5 hours?
yeah.
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 All right.
One of me and Lisa's clients, we had when they started at 5.99 and then the war happened. So I locked them, you know, finally locked them at like 6.2 or 6.3, I think. But we didn't know what was going to happen in the next 3 weeks before they closed. So we're like, we're done playing. Let's just lock and move on.
There you go. All right, guys, lots of MLS changes and news, and so I'm going to go through these. There's been a ton of stuff this month. The MLS has been really active in what they've been doing. The first one, and a big one, is that the coming soon status is coming soon. So we don't know. So this was like April 6th or something that they put this out, and it said it'll be out in a couple of weeks. So I'm not sure. I would assume, you know, maybe a day or two, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. But it is coming soon. Here's what it is. You can basically put your property up for sale 21 days ahead of time, and you're not allowed to do showings, but you can have a sign out, you can do social media marketing, you can send email blasts. You basically take Clear Cooperation and just delete it, and you can do anything you want for 21 days, but you're not allowed to do any showings during those 21 days. Per the MLS rules. But let's go through some of this because I know you're going to have questions. So I'm going to go through the Q&A on it for you, and then we'll talk about it here as we go through. And if you've got questions, just let me know. So what is it? It's a status that's used to promote and pre-market a listing that's not yet available for showings. What's required? You need obviously a listing agreement. The data input form must be signed. Okay. And you have to have a date on there as to when the coming soon expires. So it has to be within 21 days. It doesn't have to be the full 21 days. It can be less than that, but you have to have a specific date as to when it moves from coming soon to active. How long? So a listing can be in coming soon for up to 21 days. Does it automatically change from coming soon to active? Yes. So whatever date you put in on the MLS that your coming soon stops, it automatically goes from coming soon to active. So you can't just leave it there forever. Okay. If my seller is ready to market the property early, can the listing be changed to the active status before that date? So if you put in a date 2 weeks from now and a week from now, your client says, I'm ready to go, can you just move it to active? Yes, you can move it over to active, but just know you can't move it back. So once you mark a property as active, you can't go from active to coming soon. So once it's there, it's there. Okay. Are photos required for listings in coming soon status? No, you don't have to put those up. You would be stupid not to. So just like any listing, this is going to go out to the public. They're going to be able to see it. And so anytime you put up a listing without pictures, you're just shooting yourself in the foot, right? Because maybe, but if they have repairs or whatever, shoot around them, right? Do what you can. Make sure you're putting photos on.
That's exactly what I said. Can you do like probably a picture, but kind of blur it, or like, does it have to be like the picture? Because I mean, you can put the front of the picture, like the house, and then the coming soon, just kind of like other pictures kind of blur, or like with construction stuff and stuff. So
yeah, so you can do anything you want because you can change the listing during the status, right? So you can go in and change your pictures, you can change your price, you can change anything about the listing during the coming soon status, and everything that you do for changes is not shown in the history. So if you start at one price and you come down or you go up, that's not going to show in your history. So you're okay to do all of that, including whatever you want to do with pictures. With pictures, just make sure it's an accurate representation of the house, right? So
but I put a picture that it's blur, that it's the house, but it's blur, are they gonna come back to you saying, hey, it's not an accurate?
no, because it's coming soon, so they don't really care, right? But at the same time, it also really doesn't help you if it's a blurry picture that clients can't see. That's not going to really showcase your property. So I would tell you, put your best foot forward, even in coming soon status, because it really does affect what clients do with your house, even in coming soon. Okay. Did days on market count? No. So you're not going to accumulate days on market. Those 21 days are free. So you're okay there. Can you show the property while in coming soon status?
No.
No. Is it going to be shown during coming soon status?
No.
Guarantee you it will. Guarantee you, right? So who's the policing force for this? Us, the listing agent. The real policing force is the MLS, right? That's who will issue fines if you're showing the property before it goes active. I've never seen an MLS person out looking for this, right? They've got like 6 people on staff. I'm not sure how they're ever going to know. So I'm not advocating for you to show your listing, but I guarantee you unrepresented buyers are going to be shown properties by listing agents all the time in this status. It's going to happen, right? And so part of the reason I'm putting this up for you is because you need to take advantage just as much as every other agent is going to do this. You need to be doing the same, right? Should you show it? No. From a broker standpoint, absolutely not, right? The rules say you should not. Will you? I don't know. Just don't tell me. Okay.
Jeff,
Yep.
can you take an offer and go from coming soon right to under contract?
Yes, you can
Okay.
accept offer. Our listings and coming soon status sent by the MLS to listing alerts. So yes, if you have a listing alert set up and it's a coming soon, it will be sent to your client or yourself, whoever the listing alert is set up to, just like normal. If you currently have a listing alert, like I have one around my neighborhood, that doesn't include coming soon status, it's grandfathered in, and coming soon statuses will be sent to those listing alerts as well. So anything coming soon will be sent out just like an active listing. Can you put up a sign? I already talked about this. Yes, you can put up a sign. Can you put it on social media? Yes. Can you send it out in an email? Yes. Can you make a flyer? Yes. Can you just basically do everything just like it's active? Yes.
So confused why it's coming soon. If you already have all the photos and everything looks fabulous, why would you be like, I'm just gonna wait 21 days and put on my calendar?
10 minutes.
Okay, like there's very
Tenants?
few situations where, like, if your house is ready and you have a beautiful photo, oh, what's it? Right? So open up the pool instead of finding somebody off fire to.
So the reason that clear cooperation came about, or at least a major reason that clear cooperation came about, was because what was happening was listing agents were going out, putting up a sign, and then clients were coming to them and they were showing unrepresented clients through and getting offers before ever putting it active and double siding, right? Doing dual agency with this. That's what's going to happen here, right? What's going to happen, whether they like it or not, is that listing agents are going to use this as an opportunity to be a limited agent and double side this. And so the only reason to put it up as a coming soon technically is in order to gain more momentum for you as a listing agent to get buyers that will come in and take it before it ever goes active on the market. So that's really, in my opinion, the reason that it exists. If
100%. Still be like, you're going to prison for this.
Right.
And now you.
Well, I'll visit you, so it's okay.
So if you have it in coming soon status, and we're not supposed to show them, but you show it, you get an offer, the offer's dated while it's still in coming soon status.
So let me ask you, let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. If you have an exclusive right to sell and you're waiting for them to do repairs or whatever, this is currently, right? And you're waiting for repairs to happen. And the neighbor comes over and says, you know what? I love this house. I'm going to make an offer on it. And they send you an offer. Can you accept that offer before going active? Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's no different here, right? The same thing happens here. So it's incoming soon status. Somebody comes and says, I want to make an offer. Great. You may see that the offer is contingent upon seeing the home. Due diligence does that anyhow, right? But that's what's going to happen. What's really going to happen is people are going to come see the home and they're going to make an offer before it ever goes active.
You could always cover yourself and.
I am
on right
not
active
doing
that
houses
same day.
that need lead-based paint. I'm not.
Just.
Ron.
It's jumpers.
Are there penalties outlined for what happens? Show the house and
The penalties are coming soon as well. So yeah, I don't know what the fine policy is yet. I haven't seen it out of the MLS.
Do you have any idea why they made this 180 change? It just seems so odd.
According to the graphic, it's a very highly requested feature. That's all I know, right? For me,
Before they did away with it.
yeah, and so you've got a number of people who really want this status because of the marketing and all that, and you've got the other side, and this clear cooperation issue has always been embattled, right? So.
I also say that, yeah, it's really weird because last year I put a sign up on like Friday, and on Monday I got fined by the MLS. So
That was the one guy driving around.
yeah, some agent saw it and looked it up, didn't see it, and I put a complaint with MLS that I had a sign out.
Yep.
They went 5%, but.
Yeah, because up until now, before this happens, that's a clear cooperation violation, right? And we're self-policing, and so if someone turns you in, you're going to get a fine. So if you put a sign up and some agent sits across the street and videos you showing the house and then sends it to the MLS, right? Prison. You'll join Shelley.
Agents.
But you're allowed to put the sign up.
Yeah, so in coming soon status, you can put up a sign. You can put it on social media. Yeah, or you can edit it out. You can put it on social media, you can send it out an email, you can basically do everything at this point once coming soon comes. Clear cooperation is kind of out the window. Okay. And this is the one we already talked about. Can you accept an offer? We already talked about this. Yes, you can accept an offer while it's in coming soon status. But keep in mind that the property cannot be shown. So.
Watch video. You can do the offer subject to seeing the house.
Sure. And that happens now, right? So a lot of times what happens, especially in multi-unit properties, is that they require you to make an offer prior to ever seeing the house because they don't want to disturb tenants. So we see that all the time in multi-unit situations, right? And technically, you don't even need to do that because you've got your due diligence period anyhow. And so you're going to go see the property during your due diligence and you could just back out. But yes, you can get seeing the property, your offer.
But what if the best solution would be like, okay, if you accept an offer, then that coming soon period ends. And then you can show not just the house to them, but to everybody. Because I mean, if you put an offer contingency on seeing it, then you cannot see it until the 20 days after because you're not supposed to show the house.
Well, once you accept the offer, you have 3 business days to put it under contract, right, on the MLS. Once it goes under contract on the MLS, you cannot change back to coming soon. So you can only change back to active.
Would it be better in the best interest of the seller anyways to wait to see if there's any other offers? Like to see if there's other people interested?
Yeah, what's best for the seller and what's best for the agent are in conflict over this whole thing. So.
The listing agent saying you have to use me if you want to put in an offer right now, like, yeah.
Yep, going back to the whole pre-COVID stuff that was just ugly and gross. I don't. Yeah, Tim.
I think the status is gonna change back.
Yeah.
I
imagine it's gonna be a red flag.
Coming soon, writer, because you'll have to throw it away.
Yeah.
I imagine it's gonna be a major red flag if you put a lockbox on your property, if it's under coming soon.
I mean, yeah.
That's the thing.
I mean, here's the thing, right? If I'm a listing agent and a represented buyer wants to see my property, oh, sorry, it's incoming soon and I can't show it, right? If an unrepresented buyer comes to me, I probably want to show it, right? Because then I can limited agent, right? Should I show it? No, you shouldn't, okay? All right, and to Shelley's point, while we're on this topic, private listings, right? This has been a huge one. So Compass and others are making private listing portals where only their brokerage can get in and see them. And they go on this private MLS basically so that just their agents can see these listings. And somehow they're trying to spin it that is better for the client. I still haven't figured out how that works. As much as they try to explain it to me, it doesn't make sense to me. But this article came out in realestatenews.com that the majority of agents don't recommend private listings to their clients. And it also came down to say that over 80% of clients think that this is a terrible idea for them, right? And so just know. So there are very few use cases for this, right? So celebrities, top-end houses, those kind of things. There are some people who are very exclusive about who they want to see the inside of their house, and they don't want pictures out and those kind of things. So but that's totally different.
2 million, because that's a lot to them.
Just ask an agent, you'll figure it out.
I thought I read that Washington State just threw that out. It's probably gonna spread to where it's gonna get tossed out.
So maybe in Washington State, right? But
Well,
it's not going to be a nationwide thing. Here's the issue. It's a major battle between Zillow, Compass, Redfin is in on it, NAR is in on it. And there's a battle over whether this is something that's legal and should be done or can't be done or it's totally okay. And so this is going to continue to be fought. Where it comes out, I don't know. In the meantime, it's going to be here probably for a few years where you've got these private listing portals. So just be aware of them.
And they're the ones that own Better Homes Garden and all those. Other
Yeah, so they now own all the Anywhere brand. So yeah, they're
The
huge
former
number.
Regency umbrella.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ERA, Coldwell Banker, Better Homes and Gardens, C21, like all of that whole brand. That's who Compass is, along with all the Compass. All right, moving on. So you now have availability through your URE membership for extra layers that are in your Remine statuses. And so you can now go in and look at all of the things instead of just a few of them. So they opened that up so that you can see things like the mortgage rate on a house, the mortgage age, the loan amount, occupancy status, equity, distressed properties, along with all the other things that you could already see. So that's now included in your MLS status, or sorry, your MLS membership fees. They also, if you haven't seen it, rolled out a new dashboard that broke the MLS for about a day. But it's just basically updated as far as the graphics and those kind of things. There are a few things that are really nice if you haven't used them on your dashboard and if you don't have those widgets enabled. My favorite is this one, the market statistics, that shows you exactly where we're at today, right? It'll give you a snapshot of that. And then if you click the three dots in the upper corner, you can actually go down and just say, hey, I only want to see X zip code, what's happened in the last week. And it'll give you, stats for the last week, or an X county for the last 2 months, what those stats are. So you can really drill down very easily into stats so that you understand what those are.
Can we have a class on this? Do the MLS come and do a class on?
The MLS does them online all the time, but I'm happy to walk through it anytime. If anybody ever needs doing something like this is very easy to teach, and so I'm happy to do it with you.
Can you choose just single family or condos?
You can, yes. Yep, you can pretty much drill down to anything you want in this widget. It's really nice, so super helpful. And then along with that, my other favorite one is kind of a new one, at least the look of it, and it shows you recent property searches. The nice thing is it actually shows you what you were searching for. So these are the ones that I was doing. This is the one where I was actually helping with Bessie's house. So there's her house if you want to know that I was doing a CMA with her on. Bessie Nelson in the back. She talked about her listing in Highland, right? And so it's easy for me. I'll be in the middle of a search and one of you will call and I immediately have to jump out and do whatever it is that you guys need me to look at. And so I lose things all the time. It's easy for me just to go back to my dashboard and click one of these. There are the links on the side in the search that have the different times and the searches that you've done on the MLS. But all it says is today at 2 o'clock you did a search. It doesn't tell you what it is. This one's a little bit more friendly with that. All right, the next one is the new listing input features. So they changed it now, which is super helpful so that you can go to any step in the listing without having to have completed the previous one. And this is nice because there are times where I was still working on my data input side and didn't have the pictures ready, but I did have my lead-based paint document ready to upload and you couldn't go there and upload it. And so now you can jump back and forth between any of these at any time. So it's just a convenience factor. If you have anything that's outstanding that needs to be done before publishing, it'll have the little red exclamation mark on the top of the icon so that you know you need to go back and fix that one. So that's a nice change, quality of life change. And then I don't really think this is a big deal, but they made basically the data input form look better. So, and made the field sizes bigger or something. So there you go.
That's one of the things that confused me on this last one that I'm trying to review for you. I thought you could print off that property view and that'd be just as good as the MLS input form.
So you thought that you could just print this?
Yeah.
No.
It had all the same details on it.
But it needs the form so that they can initial the bottom of every page and it has a signature line on it. So we require a form because there is a form for it. All you do is hit print PDF right here and it pulls up that form. So it's one extra click, Brooke. Yeah, so that's where you find, for everybody who wonders where you find the MLS data form, that's where print PDF when you're on this screen. Okay. All right, Jack, we'll give you a couple of minutes.
Okay, guys, I am gonna like to airplay. Yeah. Okay, so want to go over a couple of things. Today is a big day as far as releases at Edge Homes. I'm just going to quickly go over 4 communities. All of these are single family build lots. All of them would receive a 5% seller concession off of the final purchase price. So even after upgrades, all of that. Okay, so the first one, Auburn Springs in Lehigh. This is West Main Street and about 2300 West. In Lehigh, everybody know where the rodeo is, the roundabout there on West Main Street. Go about another mile past that, you'll see a 7-Eleven on the south. Go through the 2300 West intersection, you will see an existing single-family community on the south side of Main Street. Hang a left, go down and enter the community from there. Okay, 84 lots. We have already sold 8 lots. We released 4 more today. Every one of them has already got multiple offers, even at pricing starting in the 800s. You even got base prices starting in the 900s. And so there's going to be a lot of $1 million houses in there, and we get multiple offers on every single one of them. So price increases have come steady. It's already increased by 40K from the start of the community. And we can't stem the demand. Okay, the next is Harmony Ridge in Mapleton. How many have been down there? Mouth of Spanish Fork Canyon. If you haven't gotten down there, absolutely drive that community. It is breathtaking. The whole community, no power lines there. You've got multifamily and single family. The single family is literally just surrounded by the whole saddle of mountains. You've got views all day long.
Walking path.
And then, yeah, walking paths and trails right there. You're away from the wind tunnel and all of that. You're up nestled against the mountain. So absolutely awesome location. And these lots right here, back open space, and literally would look right up at like Mount Loafer. It's incredible. The community.
And what's the name of that community again?
Harmony Ridge.
Okay.
Why am I talking?
Thank you.
Over there. Okay. All right, Harmony Ridge. And those prices start in the high 5s. So 5s to 8s all day long. You can get an absolutely fantastic single family home up there. This is a brand new community, 111 in West Jordan. The future LDS West Jordan Temple is out there about 70th South and Bacchus Highway. Okay, fantastic location. Tons of building going on there. And then this looks back east towards the Wasatch. So these lots will look right back at the Wasatch. You're right close to Mountain View Corridor, easy access to a lot of things. Pricing there, low 5s, so 5s to 7s all day long in that community. We will also have townhomes upcoming there. This is an absolutely fantastic location. Get out there. The Ridge in Saratoga Springs. This is surrounded by Ridgehorn over here, High Ridge over here, Ridgehorn up here, High Ridge here. But these are larger lots, about double the size of the pretty standard typical lot there, which is about 0.10 to 0.12 acres. These are double the size, can fit a number of plans. We've got just 13 lots in this phase and then another 15 lots coming in another phase. Pricing there is going to be 6s to 8s all day long.
That's where my son's house is right over the fence from the.
Yeah, that's what you asked me about. Okay, then this email that I send out every week is called New and Noteworthy. And in here, I give you the releases, everything that's coming, but I go beyond that and I show you, for instance, when these build lots come, I say, here's the single family build lots. I give you bullet points about them. I tell you which direction the home faces, the walkout basement, all that sort of stuff. And you can click on any one of these lots and open up and get more details. Okay, so you can just click on the toggle arrows to expand or collapse any of these sections. Open up like townhomes. It'll show you the townhome, the style, all of that. You open this up. You want to see the colors inside. Here's the interior. You want to see the design selections, you just download that. If you want to see the floor plan, you just download that and it opens up a floor plan for you. Okay. I spend hours and many dollars putting this together, and about 50 out of 1,200 agents that I send it to open it each week. You have no idea the service that I am providing. And so I would hope that you'll take advantage of the things that I do for you to be your easy button, and look forward. Oh, and you see, for those of you that were at the awards, I shared a story about my dad and the painting. I've now got the painting that I talked about at the awards in the background. And I'm part of the Edge Home Legends, LEDGE, Legends, haha, get it? Club. And so they gave us a pillow on our last rewards trip. So now I've got that in the background as well. So appreciate you guys. I speak Spanish. I've been with Edge Homes for 12 years, sold over $300 million in homes, and know the industry very, very well. I can help you. I appreciate you. Appreciate the time. Any questions?
Looks like you had about 40 years.
Yeah. Thank you, Brooke. Any questions, comments, concerns?
And Jack is awesome. He's a great support. And Jack, welcome to my club of you send out everything and nobody looks at it. It's just the way it is. So unfortunately, agent inboxes are crammed full. And if you ever want a class on how not to do email, Wade would love to teach you how to do that. So what are we up to now?
I don't know.
A lot. 30,000 unread?
No,
Not quite.
7, 8.
Yeah, like 27.8. All right. All right, let's go through a few stats. So these are March 2026 stats. This is all of Utah. So new listings, we had 6,120 new listings in March, 3,700 closed sales. Our median sales price across all of Utah was 518,000. That's up about 3% from last March. Average days on market dropped overall to 72. And month supply, we're at 3.9, which is up down 2.5% year over year. Our list price is flat. List to offer price, list to sold price, 96.9%.
Hey, Jeff. Jack mentioned you got multiple offers on the ones you just landed.
Yep.
Almost every property that I've made offers on so far this year, we've ended up with multiple offers. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but
it just really depends on the property. Some properties do and some properties don't. I was just talking with Christian about this earlier. You'll see houses, listings inside of different communities, that one house right next to the other that look almost the same. One will get multiple offers and one will sit for 2 months. And there doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason to a lot of it, at least that I've been able to wrap my head around. Right. So you just really have to.
So far this year, I've had to go over asking price on to win them.
Yeah.
And one of $50,000.
Does happen.
In fact, my son, we won the offer on one of his by going 5,000 over. The appraisal came in $40,000 over our asking price. I've never seen that. 30 years, I've never had it.
I would complain and see if they can bring it down.
No way.
So this is all of Utah, March 2026. So this shows you the month supply based on the price point. So you can see our supply in the middle of the 300 to 700 is the lowest. And then on the opposite ends, obviously our supply for low properties is a little bit skewed. But the upper end properties, they tend to sit a little bit longer. And so you've got 6 or 8 months when you get up into the luxury market. Also, the black line that goes across shows you the percent of the list price versus the sold price, the percent that was accepted as an offer price. And as you get into the middle, it obviously goes up because there's more competition there. And then as you get into the luxury market, you've got more negotiating room there. But I would say overall, negotiations on most properties are what you need to be doing. Like I see concessions on almost every offer that comes through. I see that they're bringing the price down off the list price. And so your sellers need to know that, and your buyers need to know that this isn't necessarily something, unless you're in multiple offers, where you just go in and make a list price offer. That doesn't need to be happening in this market.
And that's a slide that I would share, particularly if I'm in the luxury market, to set expectations and not clobber yourself before you start. Because if people are expecting a 1 or a 2 month sale and you're just feeling behind the 8 ball all the time, setting a proper expectation backs that off.
Yeah, in the luxury market, you should be signing no less than a 1-year listing agreement to be, very safe as far as what you're doing. So we're going to go through each county and give you these same stats again so you can take a look at them. This is Salt Lake County. So we had 1,000 new listings. 1,000 closed sales in the month of March. That's up 8% over last March. And our median sales price was up 5% over last March. We dropped in days on market, and we dropped in the amount of supply in Salt Lake County. In Utah County, we had 833 closed sales. That's up almost 4%. Our median sales price went up almost 5% year over year. And we dropped the days on market, months of supply. So our supply is actually going up in Utah County. So we'll probably see median sales price hopefully start to level off. But we continue to see month over month, year over year, that we're seeing an increase in sales price.
That is not true.
Davis County, it is true, Sue.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I was reading something here.
Yeah, you might want to go on mute.
Yep.
So Davis County had 314 sales. That's up 24% year over year. So Davis County is actually fairly hot. You can see that almost everything is up, except for your month supply, which is flat. Going into Summit County. So Summit County year over year sales is down. Median sales price, it'd be nice to work in Summit County, right? Median sales price at 1.9. That's a bit down about 10%. But days on market is up 17%. And then Wasatch County, same thing. Your closed sales is down about 1% and then flat for your median sales price. And your month supply is up a ton. So Wasatch County, we've seen a ton of listings come on. It's up 38% from what it was in March. All right. So let's.
Jeff?
Yep.
Going back to those statistics, earlier when you showed the statistics on our MLS, those average prices and stuff were like $100,000 higher than what we just showed right there.
So you're talking about, let me get clear about.
Yeah, on the new.
Yep, let me pull it here.
Yeah, the new widgets. So yeah, those numbers there.
Yeah, so this is where it's filtered. So this is the whole state. This is what they are saying. The MLS stats is saying is for March 21st through April 21st. That's what they're showing as the average list price, the average sold price, and the number of sales across the entire state.
And if you did median, that would change as well.
And here's the weird thing, right? And stats are what you make them and what they pull or whatever. But UAR stats and the MLS's stats are always very different. And I don't know who's pulling what stats or where, but they're always so different. And I'm not sure why. So.
Well, 78.3% of stats are made up on the spot.
There you go. I didn't know. I thought it was like 82%, but that's a good number to know.
Whatever's going to get us sold.
All right.
But numbers, no.
All right, so let's talk about sellers sabotaging their own sales right from the start. And a lot of this is about pricing. We talked about that before, setting valid expectations. And so let's go through some of this. Number one, the first thing you need to do is kill overpriced listings before they exist. And inventory is improving. We're at about 12,500 listings active on the MLS today. And that means that anything that is overpriced is just going to sit. That you're going to see price cuts on it, and you're going to see it stigmatized because it's been sitting, right? And so if I look at a daily snapshot of the number of active listings, the light blue is this year and the black was last year. you can see that we have a gap of almost 1,000 extra listings that we're carrying going through this year. So we're continuing to see more inventory this year than we saw last year. That's going to be a major talking point that you need to have with your clients. You need to look at your specific market, see how many listings are competing with it, and then have a real discussion with them about where they want to price their listing. If they're overpriced, they're just going to sit, right?
I want to say the absorption rate, where is that?
The absorption rate is a stat under the MLS. If you go to stats, there's an absorption rate report. Or you can do it manually. It's not super hard. So a discussion piece, you don't get more money by starting high. You just get fewer showings early when buyers are paying the most attention, right? That's really what you need to be discussing with your clients. Is it's not a great thing to just say, hey, let's try the market $100,000 high, because you've just lost all of your marketing. Like your main time is that first 7 to 10 days, right? So make sure that they are aware of that. All right, second, teach your sellers how buyers think, because buyers don't think for the most part, right? But this is what buyers are doing today. They're payment driven. They're driven on what their monthly payment is going to be, not necessarily the total price, right? They're comparing everything. So they're using AI and other tools to instantly compare not only your pricing, but the features and everything else that are happening with those two properties. They're less emotional and they're more analytical, and they don't want expenses. So in other words, they're buying move-in ready houses because they don't have to put any more money into it once they move in. They don't want anything after they move in. And so if your property isn't well taken care of, you're probably not going to sell it. So you're not competing with your neighbor from last year, which everybody thinks, right? My neighbor last year sold for 800 million. I want to sell for 900 million. That's not the case. You're competing with what buyers can afford right now in today's market, okay? Third, make your listing showing ready, or just don't even list it. And this is really one that's super important, right? Doing restrictive windows, showing windows, so not allowing people to come in and see it. Messy homes. And this is awesome because I just put up a listing that hits pretty much every one of these. So messy homes, deferred maintenance, because mine's a totally different situation. It's a divorce situation where the ex-wife is living in the home, but she doesn't own the home. And now the husband's wanting to sell the home. So
She doesn't want to sell, so she wants
So-
to. It's gonna make that tough.
yeah.
Jeff, I did see something that I found profound as an observation. The number one thing that you can do to increase money on your listing is staging.
Absolutely. Yeah, if I had Barb's not here. If I had Barb Hill, she would tell you her story of this last week, but staging makes a huge difference. If you're able to do staging, it makes a massive difference. Two things you can do on staging. One, just have your client pay for it. If they're a little adverse to that, just say, look, I do my commission at 3% because that includes commission, or 3.5% because that includes staging, right? And that way you're paying for the staging, but you're getting reimbursed through whatever it is, the commission that you're getting, right? So discussion, the first 7 to 10 days is where your leverage is highest. If you limit access, refuse to clean or refresh, repaint, do all those things, ignore feedback, you're going to lose that 7 to 10 day window. All right, and this is price drops, and that's kind of an ugly graph because I had to manually go back 1 day at a time to pull this data because for some reason the MLS doesn't keep it. But this is the price drops for the last 2 months, basically. What do you think the bottoms are?
Weekends.
Weekends. Why? Because everybody says, hey, let's just let it ride through the weekend, right? And so nobody does price drops on Saturdays or Sundays. That's those bottoms.
When they're dropping the price, which is during.
Yeah, so this is the number of price drops on any given day. And on average, we're at about 206 price drops every day, right? And this is where our trend is. Now, that trend may be pretty close to how many extra listings we're getting this time of year, but we are seeing a very steady number of price drops across the MLS. That's because sellers continue to list high, right? So it's something that you need to have a discussion with your sellers. All right, lastly is normalizing fees, feedback and price adjustments. And so when a seller takes their feedback personally, which they often do, right? Nobody loves my house. This is an awesome house. Why don't they like it? I know the stairs are in the middle of nowhere, but it doesn't matter. I've lived here forever, right? So all of those things, right? Number one, reframe it as just being data and take the person out of it. This is the market speaking. This isn't a specific buyer speaking. So talk about it in the market. And then remind clients that not everyone needs to love their house. Just one person needs to love their house. That's it, right? And so if multiple buyers say the same thing, that's not an opinion, that's market feedback. We need the market feedback so that we can overcome any objections, right? And so if you hear continually that you've got a smell in your house, probably need to do something about it. If one person says there's a smell in the house, it might not be a big issue, okay? All right. I'm a little over, but this part is something that I need to discuss with you because it's going to come out from Fathom. And I want to be ahead of it before it comes out because it's not super fun. I don't necessarily agree with what's going to happen here, but need to make sure that you're aware of it. And as you go forward, we actually have a meeting tomorrow as district directors to talk about this, and I'm going to fight pretty hard against it. But regardless of what I do, it's probably coming. So you just need to know about it, right? And that's this, and I'm going to go through this first part fairly quickly. I've talked a lot about the fact that you need to make sure that your files are correct and done well, that they're submitted on time, that you're uploading your documents within 48 hours, like all those kind of things as you do your paperwork professionally. They're super important. And Fathom has set consistent guidelines across what needs to happen, as well as NAR, UAR, and the MLSs, right? They've set specific guidelines as far as what we need to do with our paperwork. And so typically this is the high-level transaction workflow. You're going to establish agency. You're then going to create a workflow or a transaction in IntelliAgent. You're going to upload the documents within 48 hours after they're signed. You then submit your transaction for review, compliance and accounting review it, the CDA goes out, and then you close, right? What Fathom is trying to combat is that we have a lot of times where all of this stuff is flipped backwards, right? We will get a closing before we ever get an IntelliAgent file even started, or we'll get a closing before we get all of the documents, or we'll get the documents 4 hours before closing and an agent saying, hey, we've got to have a CDA right now, right? And so we need, this is accurate. We need, you're welcome, Jeff. We need you to be able to do the things in order and in the right timing.
I just submitted the CDA and I put 0 for the client because he had signed before the 1st of April, but then it charged me and I just put in a note. No client fee.
You win.
Will they remove that?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, just put a note in there. If there's not a client service fee, you just put a note. They'll take care of it. Yep. So we have an expectation of 48 hours that you have documents uploaded, that you have a representation agreement, an agency agreement, A, before you show houses, and B, before you list a property, and for sure before you write offers, right? Make sure that you are getting those representation agreements signed. This is what your brokerage services include. Late representation agreements. So we get this all the time where we have clients or agents who submit a transaction. They did not get a buyer broker or an ERS signed or all of the paperwork signed before getting a listing up or before showing a house or before making an offer, or sometimes halfway through the transaction before they get it done, right? And so that's a major violation.
Notice the Wade's not in prison anymore.
I know, we let him out. Yep.
I cleared those up so good.
Compensation transparency. So we've talked about this a lot where you can't go back and renegotiate your compensation after the transaction has been signed, once your agency agreements are signed. There are agents that do it. There are also people who smoke crack. Just saying one's right and one's not, right?
Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff, I got a question for you. Let's say I put in an offer, but then my buyer broker gets signed after the Repsy and all that. does the seller have the right to ask for my buyer broker and see what date it is? And then say something like, well, that's like, I'm not paying that because of this or that. Like the
No.
buyer, you know what I'm saying?
Yes and no. So what she's saying is, if I get a buyer broker agreement signed after I write an offer, could the seller come back and negate any brokerage compensation because I got my buyer broker agreement signed late?
But you can't show homes without the buyer broker, like if she did a limited showing agreement.
So she's saying if I were a bad agent, and I showed my client properties and then I wrote an offer and the seller accepted that offer, could the seller come back and not pay commissions because you got your buyer broker agreement signed late? No. No.
The offer though is saying that he paid the fees.
There's a valid contract in place, right? The agreement to show properties, have a written agreement to show properties before showing them is an NAR rule. It's not a state law, right? So there's a difference there, but it's not going to negate your commission agreement. No.
But you can write up offers with.
No, you cannot write up offers without having an agency agreement. Don't do that.
Just get a pillow and sit in there.
You will be finding a new brokerage as well.
Guys, just get a transaction coordinator.
No, so a lot of this comes down to you really should look into a TC if you're unable to do these things, right? All compensation has to be disclosed to the brokerage. It has to be reflected in the file and it has to be accurate. We see a lot of times where we have different amounts of compensation across different documents. And so you need to make sure that it all matches up, right? And accurate transaction records. One of the things we see a lot is that a transaction will close and we'll say, hey, the purchase price that you just told us isn't the one that's on the CD on the closing disclosure. And agents will say, oh yeah, I've got 4 addendums that I forgot to upload to you, right? And it's like, well, great. Well, why don't you give us all of your documents so that we can actually process this transaction?
Necessary.
You check off those.
It's only semi-necessary, Ron, yeah.
They were sending it to title. They sent it to title.
So this is all the same stuff. So when expectations are not met on our side, it requires additional review on our side. It requires commission processing being delayed. Fees can apply in certain situations and policy isn't met. Now, all of this before this, I completely agree with. Like, you need to do your transactions correctly, be responsible, be professional, do what you're supposed to do. Like, zero doubt on that, right? From this point forward, this is all subject to change in the part that I don't necessarily jump on board with, okay? And that's this. If you have issues where we have to expedite your CDA after this policy rolls out, Fathom will charge you $100 for having to do that. So if you didn't do your file correctly and Fathom comes back and you need to get that CDA out, they're going to charge you $100 for that, okay? That amount doesn't count towards your cap and it comes directly out of your commission.
Supposed to click the submit button, like 5 days? 7 days. What did it say? Oh, 5 to 7 days.
So you should be submitting 5 to 7 days before, if at all possible. And you need to submit for sure at least 3 business days before close to make sure it's reviewed, okay? And so if it's not, then you could get charged $100, okay? Here's the part that I don't agree with. There are things that are not always in your control, right? And there's a slide about that it's not always in your control. But as a district director, I do not have the ability to override what Fathom thinks. And that's the part I'm not okay with, because there's always circumstances where I should be able to say, this one doesn't apply, there should not be a $100 fee, right? But they're very black and white in what they're going to be doing here, or at least what they're saying they're going to be doing, okay? And I wanted to make sure that you were aware of it before it rolled out. Compliance fees. So if you have a transaction that closes without the CDA having been sent out before, or if you have a transaction where required document is not signed prior to closing, then a $400 fee would be added, okay? So you need to make sure that you're submitting on time, and you need to make sure all of your documentation is uploaded and completed. The safe harbor, if it was the company's fault, if it's a last minute closing change, because those happen, if there's high volume of processing in accounting or compliance, or if there's document review delays in compliance, then you wouldn't be charged the fee because it's Fathom's fault.
Are we allowed to charge Fathom the $400?
I'm actually going to ask that, believe it or not. Yeah. So when I get on the call, that's actually something I'm going to ask. So standard fees. So in certain circumstances, the first violation, if there's a violation, will be 150, second 500, third 1500, and the fourth would be complete commission forfeiture. So you wouldn't get paid at all. Now this is for extreme circumstances, right? And we actually have agents who fall into this that we've asked to leave Fathom from the Utah side. So these are things that we've taken into our own hands. And when they get to the third, we're actually saying you need to go find somewhere else to work. This is something like you get to closing and you don't have a buyer broker agreement at all. And it's not only the first time you've done it, it's the second or the third time that you've done this, right? So they send all of their documents after closing. The entire thing is an email, usually to like Maya or Penny or someone like that, and say, here's all my documents. Can you please upload these? Yes, these people exist. It's there, right? So this is where someone like that should definitely have a TC.
Because they can't get it, they can't upload all the documents. She's gonna upload everything to this.
Yeah, so then they don't have commission instructions at title. Title's sitting there with a bunch of money. They don't know how to disperse it. They've got to hold it. They're upset because they have to hold it. They're on us because we haven't gotten them commission instructions. We're on you because you haven't gotten us any documents. Yeah. So that's the reason, right? So examples of this would be late representation agreements, compensation that exceeds the representation, undisclosed compensation agreements, false or inaccurate documentation, touring without a written agreement, incomplete or inconsistent transaction fees. Okay. And the rest of this just goes over the same thing over and over, that they're going to audit your files, common mistakes, waiting to submit, uploading documents late, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So just know that this is coming. I'm not sure the date that this is going to be rolled out. I believe it's going to be next week, but I don't know for sure. Again, I have a discussion, a call with Fathom Corporate, with Lori and team tomorrow. All the district directors will be there. Most are not super happy with this policy, and so I'm hoping we can combat it. But if not, just know it's going to be there, right? So just do your files correctly. It really shouldn't affect anything. All right, we've got lots of yummy food in the back, and so Adam from IBEX has brought that. We'll give him just a minute, and then we're done with this meeting. So Adam is holding you from the food and getting out of here.
Go fast. I'll just tell you my story. How's that? We'll do that today. So I don't know if I've ever shared this before, but I sold real estate for 18 years in Weber, Davis County. And then a good friend of mine named Chad Holmes. Does anybody know him? He's a skinny, bald head, good looking guy. I can't do buyback.
He was at the award. He was at awards.
The IBEX on the.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he was with a different home warranty company, Landmark, if you know that. For business a long time. And he grew that company. He wasn't known, but they went multiple states. So he knew a lot about home warranty business. So him and my brother, we went to our favorite restaurant in South Ogden, Chagrama. And on 36th Street, we went to booth 2. We have a picture of it in our office. And it was there that we were just having lunch as friends. And he told me that, you know, he was working for a home warranty company that got bought out by a national company and things kind of changed. And it was in that restaurant we decided that, hey, let's start our own home warranty company. So I got out of real estate. He got out of his thing. We started IBEX 9 years ago. And when we started it, there was a couple things that we just wanted to do. We said, hey, if we're going to do this, we want to make it from an agent standpoint better. And then he had ideas from the home warranty thing that he wanted to do. So our plan is just super easy, super simple. You just have to show your client one page in our brochure on our website. And it's this page right here. And if it is in yellow, and most people can understand this, I hope, right? If it's in yellow, Like, for example, a refrigerator, every piece, part, nut, screw, bolt, makes an ice cube, bounces up and down, lights on fire, is covered. So they can just look at this, and if it's in yellow, they call IBEX, say, hey, this is broken. IBEX will send somebody out there, we charge $85 service fee, and then we'll fix it. If we don't fix it, we replace it. And if we replace it, we don't give them the value of their 20-year-old refrigerator and say, that is worth $114, here you go. We give them out full replacement value, so they can go out and buy a new one at today's market. We go on Home Depot's and Lowe's website and say you have a GE refrigerator with an ice maker, how much does it cost today's market? And that's what they get. So super easy to understand. We're a local home warranty company. I'm an owner. I'm also the rep. Chad's an owner. He's also the rep. My brother is over the contractors. 75% of our contractors work for us. They're our employees. 100% of our plumbers are our employees. So we'll eventually get to 100. But why that's cool is that means that we can get out there quick. We can get out there fast. These people that work for us, they know our program. They're not going on any other calls other than the IBEX calls. And so that's why we can get out there 65% of the time the same day, 35% the next day. We send out between 60 and 70 contractors a day is what we're sending out across the Wasatch Front. So that's the story. Every time you go by Chuckarama, please think of IBEX. That's where we started. And just easy, simple. So that's it. Anybody have any questions? If not, I don't want to keep it from
Do you guys have the free rekey?
No. But let me tell you why we don't do that. Our margins are so thin that this is we don't. For example, if we replace a water heater, I think I've told you this before. We don't charge for drip pans, earthquake straps, expansion tanks, code upgrades, remove the old one. We don't charge $95 to take the toilet off. Every time we put the snake down the toilet, $100 every 25 feet. The pipe from the garbage disposal of the sink, charge extra. If you start giving away stuff like rekeys and those kind of things, and for my research, they're making it up by charging other fees along the way. IBEX does not do that. We only charge $85, and that is ever it. No other fees. But because of that, we don't have the money. Our margins are so thin because we do that to pay for like discounts or rekeys or any of that kind of stuff. So we don't do rekeys. But I promise you, by saving the $85 with us, you'll save $1,500 when you get your water heater replaced. Or you'll save so much money on ductwork fees or installation fees or all this other nonsense. And that's what we did not want to do when I was an agent. Has anybody ever had someone come over and charge their client like $400 for just all the fees? You have? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Your client will never say that with IBEX. It's only $85. That's it. But you don't have to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But that's a frustration from IBEX standpoint because people will say, I'm like, I'm gonna go to this company because I got a free rekey, but they'll pay all these other junk fees to make up for stuff like that. You know what I mean? But we don't do that. So we don't do free rekeys. So that's a long answer. But we think that.
And what is your plan fee?
800. And we just have one plan. It's the same plan. It goes up to 1,200 if it's over 5,000 square feet, but it's the same plan. But for the majority of homes out there, $800.
If there's 2 kitchens.
Yeah, so we don't cover, good question. So because we give out full replacement value on, like, let's say, for example, a refrigerator, we have people, this is why we got to change our policy, going out to garage sales and buying like a $15 refrigerator and put it in their garage and put popsicles in it and then calling us up and wanting $3,000 for a new refrigerator all day long. We have this going on. So if it's in this picture, it's covered. If it's not in this picture, it's not covered. You don't see a refrigerator in the basement or a refrigerator in the garage, right? We don't do that because we cover everything 100% and just kill it in this. We can't be paying full price for everybody's 6 refrigerators in their garage. They're being refrigerated, their dead bodies, whatever they got. You can't do it. So you're exactly right. So this is our bread and butter. If your house fits this, I feel we do it better than anybody else out there.
Do you have a maximum of square footage that you'll cover, and then over that you won't?
So, like Jeff over 10,000 square feet, we have to get special bids. So when we had to do, Jeff asked us for a pricing on his house because it's over 10,000 square feet.
It's personal.
Yeah, personal house. We had to.
Yeah, 13.5.
Yeah, I thought it was 20 something, right? So we ask you this, from 5,000 to 10,000, it's 1,200. If it's over 10,000, call us. And we don't give very many of those, but call us and we'll look on the MLS.
I don't give very many of them either. So.
See, over 10,000, just give us a call, but anything under that. So
Great, thank you.
Good questions. I'll hang out back there if you guys have any other questions, but thank you for your time. And last thing, and I'm done. This is my promise, and I promise you this. If you recommend IBEX and you do everything that you're supposed to be doing, and your clients have a problem, you have a problem, I will 100% back it up. I will never make you look stupid in front of your client for recommending IBEX. I just ask one thing in return, only one thing. What do you think it is? If you do this, you'll be fine.
Cookies?
What's that?
Cookies?
No.
Ask recommendation.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Don't tell me the air conditioner was working yesterday. It was so cold, it was penguins in the house. I go out there, and there's raccoons living in that, some sort of the house. And you think I'm making these stories up, I'm not. Okay, if you're honest and you do everything you're supposed to do, if I have to eat crap and I have to do whatever I do, I'll do it. And guess who I have to ask permission to do this from?
Yourself.
Myself, no one. So there's no one above me. I can make those decisions. If you do what you're supposed to do and you're honest and you're doing everything you should, inspections, you're not lying about it, I'll have you back. I promise you that. And I take the phone calls. I'm the one that handles all of those calls. And the whole company, there's an issue. I'll go to Adam. Every single one of those calls go to Adam. I get involved in probably 2 a week out of like 400 people we send out. But I always get the homeowner, the agent, and myself on the phone, and we say, this is the last few minutes. Everybody's got to be happy before we get off the phone, and everybody is, and we get off the phone, everyone's good. That's how it works. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely love it from Adam. Look, I'll vouch. If you have something that you think should have been covered and it's not for some reason, just call Adam. He'll take care of you 100%. Like he's got your back all day long, just as much as we have his. So support him for what he does. Yeah.
I was an agent too, so I get it. Like I'll take that client out of your hair and I'll handle it, and I'll text you or call you when it's resolved. So you don't have to get involved in all that stuff.
Yeah. Great home warranty. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey guys, go get some lunch. Thanks for being here.